The Exam Planner app by Schooldata allows you to generate the best exam timetable you've ever had in seconds. Click on Exam Planner app and press Create Exam Project. Give your project a name and a description. I find this field is handy for making some notes about variations you'll test, like English only on day one, or maximum one exam with the listening component. Select your timetable file from the drop-down. If you can't see it, watch our short video on syncing TFX files to the App Store. Click anywhere in your projects row and then scroll to the bottom and press Initialize. Don't worry about the other fields you see here. You'll have a chance to change all of these in just a second. Now, here's where we start to do things that the other products can't do. Click 10 and 11, and beneath this, you will immediately see all of the subjects in your timetable that have students in them tagged with this year level. Let's remove some subjects that don't need an exam, like external vet and studies. Let's also remove VM classes, and maybe there are some vet classes that don't need an exam. Scroll to the bottom and press Submit. Now, here are some other options you won't find elsewhere, and they are ridiculously easy to set. If you know, for example, that you have 8 days set aside for the exam period, type 8 here. If you haven't fixed the exam period yet, set this number higher and click Minimize Number of Days. This will automatically reduce to the bare minimum the number of days required for your exam period. For my project, I know we have 8 days set aside, so I'm going to type 8 in here. In sessions per day, I'm going to leave it at 3, even though one of these days only has 2 sessions. I'll show you how we restrict this in just a second. I'm going to leave the maximum students at 200. Our next version will allow you to tag rooms to the project. So they are assigned by the program while you're creating the exam timetable. Now let's have a look at these 2 checkboxes down here. By default, students will not have clashes, of course, but nor will they have 3 exams in a day. If you run the solver and you can't get the results you'd like, or you can't get it to work, perhaps you've got a shorter exam period or maybe some other reasons, revisit this settings page and try ticking the allow 3 in a day box. Even if ticked, the solver will minimize instances of this occurring. Okay, let's say Year 11 Methods requires 2 exams during the exam period. Let's add this here, and 2 exams will appear for this subject. Okay, let's add some constraints in here. Let's say we want Year 11 English first. That is, if we click the property type, that is a subject, and the code is EN011, and press Tab. We want this to be on a day and session, and it's day 1, session 1. Press Add Constraint. Let's say the Year 10s start on day 2. So we would say it's a year level, it's year level 10, they are not on day 1. Add constraint. Let's add a few more. Let's say we've got 2 methods exams, so let's make sure they're not on the same day. That's a subject. That's the subject code. And what we want to do here is we want a count constraint, and the count constraint is on any given day, the maximum is 1. So the maximum number of instances of MA111 on any given day will be 1. What else can we do? Maybe we want the 2 Year 10 maths exams on the same session. The subjects are 10M. I'll hold down Control and I'll press MTA and MTC. And we want to join them. We don't want to just join them on the same day. We want to join them on the same session. This is grayed out here because you don't need a constraint value for this. Add the constraint. And finally, we said in our description that we cannot have 2 oral exams on at the same time. So we'll pick some oral exams. Year 10 French is one, Year 10 Italian is another, and a couple of Year 11 exams, French and Italian. And here, once again, we're going to say count constraint on the session this time is 1. Okay, let's press submit, and then let's press solve. Now, if your constraints are straightforward, you'll probably get the optimal result in about 5 or 6 seconds, but the solver can run for up to 5 minutes if your constraints are tough but possible. If you get an infeasible result, it means that your constraints aren't possible. Maybe you've got an exam with 210 students in it, but the maximum is set to 200 per session. We can see here that ours is optimal in just over 7 seconds, and we didn't actually require session 3 on any day. So I'm sure if we'd ticked the reduced number of days box, we could have definitely got this under 8 days. Now, if you get an infeasible result and you can't figure out why, contact us at info@schooldata.com.au and we'll lend a hand. Once you get a result, you can, down the bottom here, download it to CSV, or you can download it to a version 9 student file. If you're running version 10, you can upgrade this in your V10 program. Not only does the exam app by Schooldata save you a stack of time, your students will thank you when they get the fairest exam timetable that is mathematically possible. If you've used this app to get great results fast, please leave us a comment. These comments help us get the word out about our suite of efficiency boosting products so educators can get back to doing what matters, connecting with students and their families on weekends. Until next time, thanks for watching.